F double R, F double R, F double R, F double R. Gotta bring that energy.
Gotta bring that energy. What's going on, FRR fam? If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you've been here, welcome back to FRR Friend Request Reviews, where friends request friends to watch. We stand alone together. The men of easy company. Yes, you asked and we shall deliver. We enjoyed the series that much, and honestly, I would say with most of our series, we always try to do something a little special at the end that isn't directly, well, it is directly tied to the series, but isn't an actual, episode. So we're gonna close out Band of Brothers with this documentary that y'all have been requesting, right? So we're gonna bring that to y'all, and then again, we are gonna get to Pacific, just not immediately after BOB. So this is the last time we're gonna kind of touch on this for now. But I'm really excited to get into this because, like y'all said, it's basically more of the actual veterans. So we should probably see more than what we saw in the series itself. And yeah, just more real words from real people who went through some real shit. How you feeling over there, Brolic?
I'm feeling great, man. Y'all already seen our reaction to the finale of Bands of Brothers. Thought it was a great moment for us to finally see the names of these brothers that we've been following throughout the entire mini series. So this is just gonna be, another pleasant, sit down with the boys. So I'm here for it. I'm ready to hear some more of what they really went through, because from what you guys are telling me, there are some hit and misses throughout the season. So hopefully some of these stories can kind of clear up some of that as well, because you guys are doing a great job already. But it's nice to hear from the mouths of the brothers themselves. So let's get it, y'all.
Hey, look, he ready, I'm ready, I know y'all ready, so we ain't gonna hold y'all any longer. We just gonna paraglide right in. Y'all know what to do with the video. Drop your likes, comment down below, and most importantly, subscribe. The goal is 10K. Click the button, click the bell, get notified when we go live. Let's get it, baby. Que hora ahí?
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Okay.
Welcome.
Okay.
Hi.
Thanks for sitting down with us again. We appreciate it.
And when I tried to get up, only thing I could see were the broken ends of my legs. And I thought my legs were gone. Because that's all. The broken part, both femurs were shattered. And I said my act of contrition, because I'm a Catholic. And then the next thing I thought of was my mother. I thought, what's she gonna say? Because I was an only child.
Damn. The liberation of Holland. Look at that. Real footage.
Feel me? Real footage.
That shit look crazy.
My name is C. Carwood Lipton.
Damn, you looking hella good. Look at you, boy.
My name's J.B. Stokes. I was born close to Bonham, Texas.
My nickname was Babe. And my
Hey.
mother, she's a little Irish broad, red hair, fiery. Great woman, great woman.
Got the medals.
Mom had 10 children, so you had to work to survive.
Damn.
That's what it was. It's just survival in the streets of Philadelphia, that's all.
I said, let's go in the Army. He said, hell, I don't want to go in no Army. I said, well, you're going to have to go sooner or later.
Something was wrong with you if you weren't in the service in those days. It was just what you had to do.
I wasn't going to be in the infantry, I knew that. I was going to be in some top kind of a unit, or I wasn't going to be in the Army.
My boy. That's my boy
Being a
right
top
there.
unit or nothing.
Life magazine had run an article on paratroopers sometime in early 1942, and I just got interested in seeing if I couldn't become a paratrooper.
Nobody forced you to do this. You volunteered. And it was the notion that you wanted to do something
He got that Easy Company flag back there, 506.
You know these people that you're in service with. You know
Shifty,
those people
yep.
better than you will ever know anybody in your life. I mean, you know them right down to the final thing, you know. And that comes when you start your training, while that progresses.
Yep. That camaraderie.
There wasn't no holding back.
You had to hang in there. You had to be
Oh,
tough. We marched 118
you
miles
seen that?
in 3 days.
The training I got.
The parachute
the
was
men
like
I trained
already.
with gave me the confidence to.
That's crazy.
To go into battle.
But I didn't have nothing to lose. I weighed about 130. If I lost 40 pounds, I wouldn't have been big enough to stay.
You know, they weeded out.
Buck. Oh,
so many.
shit.
They'd be there one day and
That's
they'd
Buck.
be gone the next.
They couldn't.
On the next.
See, look at that shit. That shit's crazy.
Had to climb this mountain called Currahee every morning, running
Currahee.
up and back. If you couldn't do it, why you'd end up in another unit.
Yep. That was the run they did with Sobel.
Yep.
You would still go out on your own and run the mountain at night. Which was ridiculous because when you had to run it during the day, all you did was bitch and moan.
Facts.
I'm going to say this. I believe that the paratroopers of the 101st Airborne Division was as well trained as you could get a soldier to be at that time.
At that time.
Mm-hmm.
So we had our Rangers.
That morning after breakfast, they marched us all out there to the airfield.
You didn't want to be afraid, you know, because all these other guys are right there with you, and something, you know, your bravado and all that.
The first jump you make is not all that bad. You don't know what you're doing. It seems like when you step out the door, why, your chute just opened right then.
But it was quite a thrill. It was just like going on a roller coaster. You get off and you want to go right back on again.
Facts.
Some of the big ones hit the ground like a ton of, what's the name?
And you're worried about most with your chute. Did you pack it right? And you'd go through that. You'd pack it one day and jump the next day. You had all night to think about it.
Oh, damn.
All kinds of ideas of what you might have done wrong.
Exactly, yeah. The mental gymnastic has got to be crazy.
We were thoroughly prepared, physically and mentally, and they were ready to jump. Thus, we started off for Normandy.
See, man, Dick Winter's been through it, bruh. You could see it all in. I mean, they all been through it, but man, Winters be looking.
At the time, I had no feeling whatsoever. Like I said, my feelings was for my brother who was killed at that time.
Oh,
That
Ganier.
infuriated me to no end.
Gonorrhea?
And that's when I jumped on D-Day, I swore I was going to kill every damn German I came across. And that's why I think they nicknamed me Wild Bill, because I did a lot of killing D-Day.
Yep, we
Wild
seen him.
Bill.
We seen him. He's
Whether it was high, low, no matter where we were at, out. They wanted out of the plane. They were getting shot up.
But finally, the pilots, I'm just happened to read their mind is, okay, we got so much gas, and we're going to have to get back to England. So what are we going to do with all these guys back here? Give them the green light sometime.
Man, I jumped up on a run and hit the
Compton.
fucking Compton. Look at him.
got such an opening blast from the opening shot from the prop blast that it broke this chin strap that we had on this helmet liner, and that's when I lost this famous leg bag that everybody talks about just from the shock of the opening. It just flew right off my foot.
They told us that all you'll have to do is shuffle up to the door, throw that leg out, prop blast will hit it, and you're gone. Well, they were right. Only I was gone out and my leg was in. And I was hanging upside down. Looking at everything down with my leg in the plane.
Damn.
And everything. And all this happened in just a split second.
I just helped him out. I just
picked him up, threw him out, I guess.
And we were running into Germans everywhere, but we had to hide, you know, because if we didn't, we were dead meat.
Yeah, outnumbered, outgunned.
So there's 4 guys that were with me on D-Day who did have nothing but a jump knife when they landed. So we had a hope scrounge. As it worked out for all of us, later on we run across somebody who had been killed, and you take his weapon.
So it was quite a confused situation, but we were better prepared for it than the Germans were. The Germans didn't know where we were.
Whereas on the beach, those people coming in on those boats, those Germans had those big guns aimed right at them,
Yeah.
just waiting on them.
That intro to Saving Private Ryan, though.
Wow. 3 Germans broke off from this position to run across the field, which was the wrong thing to do from their viewpoint. We cut them down.
And then I saw an arm stuck over that tent and one of those potato masher grenades, you know, with a stick.
Oh.
Pipe bomb.
Yeah.
He called it a potato masher. That's funny.
And I was trying to scuttle my way out of the way of it, and
Yo.
it went off. And I felt like it blowed my butt over my head. Pretty near did.
And it did it. That was him. That was him.
He hollers, "I'm sorry, Lieutenant. I'm sorry. I goofed." It's beautiful when you think of a guy who is that dedicated to his company, to his buddies, that he apologizes for getting hit.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of guy he was. And that's the kind each one of them was. They were all the same.
I feel like that moment just dropped on one of the episodes that came out, too.
It did.
Each one of them proved himself that he could do the job.
Yes, we seen a lot of them wanting to prove their jobs.
It said they had the highest rate of casualties, though, which is crazy because...
I never thought I'd get through D-Day, let alone the next phase or the next phase. I thought I was going to get killed instantly.
My boy Kinnear.
There's the parachute. We got that done in Edinburgh, Scotland, 1944. Me and Johnny Martin. Drunk as a skunk.
Decided we'd go to Scotland and get a tattoo. We didn't figure we had a chance to come home.
You look like a cool guy, man.
Yeah. But
all the replacements.
There were young kids that came in, and for some reason, I don't know why, they were the first ones killed. And I think maybe they were trying to impress the older guys, maybe people like me or Shifty.
They were like heroes to us, you know. That's how we looked at them.
I don't know why.
Yeah,
but
we
they
got
were
this
the first
one.
ones killed.
And B.O.B.
September 17th, Holland. Market Garden.
It was a mass drop. Everybody was dropping on the same field.
Daytime drop's a lot easier. You can see where you're going. You can sort of prepare for the landing.
The most dangerous part about it was the fact that people are continually losing helmets and equipment. And all this equipment's raining down. And if you got hit with it.
Oh, while you're already...
Oh, shit.
If you're one of the first ones, you're in danger.
These rocks and timbers were flying, and they're falling all around you, and you can't help but think to yourself, my God, what a way to die in combat, to be killed with a flying timber.
Facts. All this shit I done did.
But once we got in, the Dutch, it was just marvelous, their reaction. They loved Americans.
Oh, was this the day that they pulled into town? Yep. Oh my God, it's all coming together. I love it.
Swarming all over us trying to congratulate us for being there and all that.
And they hugged you and kissed you, and we didn't mind. You know, naturally, we was young.
Said we was young, shit, 19, my man. Hell's Highway, though.
Well, I was picked to go up on a dike. So of course, when you get to the top, you don't expose yourself. When I peeked over, I see a hand there with a potato masher, and he threw it at me. I ducked down, it hit my helmet and bounced off. So when that thing bounced off my helmet, I hollered out to the guys below, live a grenade.
That's that grenade that hit my rifle and is laying right in front of me, in my face practically.
Yo.
I know I'd have either had my head blown off or I would have definitely been blind. There's no question about it, not any question.
I hollered for them to, take off. I said, get the hell going back. And I had 8 grenades, so I started taking them off, pulling the pins and throwing them over.
Throwing mine back.
I saw a huge mushroom cloud from the shell. And Joe Toy stepped out of it. And I run up. I remember that like it was just, I run up and I grabbed him. And he said, oh, don't touch me. I'm hit all over. He said, I'm bad. I said, okay. I said, I'm going to go see Jim. He said, as bad as he was hurting, Joe Toy, he said, Efren, I already checked him. He's gone.
Damn.
It's just so bad all your life. You got to remember what one guy did because he thought it was his job to do, and he took a shot for you.
It's crazy. You gotta live with that shit for life.
Yep. At least one of y'all made it out, though.
This is the last desperate action of the Germans to turn the tide of this whole war.
Damn, 600,000. We only got to see a handful of brothers.
Sure looks different now. There ain't no snow. These trees might have been replanted. Look how straight. I think if the trees look like they did in 44 or 45.
Damn, he was able to. I thought he lost both of his legs.
Most intense in the world. You couldn't believe it. You had to be here. You just dove in the hole and just pray. That's it. If it hit comes in, you ain't gonna know it.
Yeah, exactly.
Keller over on this side.
That man said, if it comes in, you ain't gonna know it.
It's the absolute truth. How can you know?
A dud. That's the only way.
It's an odd feeling. To me, it brings
It's
a lot
gotta
of
be.
memories.
Being there after all this time.
The times, good and bad, a lot of memories.
Damn. I wish some of these brothers were still alive. Go get a drink with them.
Some of them, even without weapons, without equipment, some of them were terrified.
They were beat to enough, and every one of them were telling us, they're going to kill everybody. They're running over everybody.
They couldn't believe when they saw us up there that we intended to set up defensive lines and to stop the Germans. They said they couldn't be stopped.
Snow, cold up to your own. We didn't have no winter clothing or nothing.
Bull, that's the one that got stuck behind enemy lines, right?
There are rows of trees. You look down a row and you can see a half a mile.
Oh.
And there was on top of this hill, there was a ridge with a tree line. We were dug in on that ridge. Germans knew right where we were, and they really gave us a shellacking.
A shellacking.
You'd be surprised how quick you can get through that hard ground when somebody's shooting at you. Them shells.
That's what I was saying while watching that. Like, how can you break through that floor like that?
We went through a couple of shellings. that passed on that were earth-shaking. If you live through them, you remember them for the rest of your life, and I'm not sure you're the same for the rest of your life after you live through them. You never forget them.
It was right at dusk, and the Germans had this, you know, this woods of ours zeroed in completely, and as we hit the woods, why this tremendous artillery attack came.
They were letting us have it, everything.
It's a
The
point
kids
blank,
sing
though.
Mortars, Whoppers, that's a rocket thing that's a screaming sound.
Sergeant Garnier lost a leg, and Joe Toy lost a leg in the
Yep.
same place right there on one hill. I remember.
Yep, and Gannier saw 2 people get.
Joe got caught. He came up out of his hole quickly, and we were still under heavy fire.
Joe said, Jesus Christ, what do I have to do to die?
They threw that in there. They threw it in the show.
I went out to see what I could do for him. Bongo, I got it too.
I don't know why I thought he lost both, and Joe lost one.
They brought a Jeep down, and we put them on stretchers, and I better not talk about them. Better not talk about it.
That's right. We seen Malarkey. We seen you in B.O.B. That just makes that shit hit even more.
I know.
We had this assistant squad leader named Mallet. He was from New York City. He says, I've been through Normandy and went through Holland, and to this day, he says, I haven't got one scratch. He says, I'm afraid when I do get it, I'm really going to get it. And he was right. In this little town of Foley, he got killed.
Damn.
Hitler's Berchtesgaden retreat, burned by SS troops in the war's last days. The chalet from which he hoped to rule the world now lies in ruin.
That shit is...
We took Berchtesgaden May the 5th. And no fighting, no shooting. The only thing I seen at Berchtesgaden was a couple dead black uniform SS troopers laying on the road as we were going up.
Took over his house and liberated it, you might say.
There was obviously a loot of all kinds that the men were looking for, such as guns.
Silverware.
There was money that they were looting.
That place was full of this big art, you know, Rembrandt, and all those people, you know, and hanging on the wall, you know. Of course, old soldiers like us, we don't recognize a painting from a
It's just worth some bread, son.
For real, damn.
We found a warehouse full of gin and vodka and stuff like that. It wasn't much whiskey. Those people don't like whiskey. And we took it all and set up a bar.
Had 7 truckloads of champagne and cognac out of the wine cellars out of the Eagle's Nest.
Yeah.
So we stayed pretty well oiled for a while.
Yeah, we see what
is
that
that
freaking
Nixon?
took you. It do look like Nixon, right?
It looked just like his ass.
I had no problem with looting because of the fact that I had come down through Germany.
Wow, that even
and
looks
I
like
had seen the Holocaust.
Mm.
And I had seen what the Germans had done to the Jewish race, and I'd seen what they had done to the displaced persons.
Wow.
And what they had done in their occupation.
Real
of
footage.
France.
This is crazy.
That's
So
crazy.
that by taking over their homes for a few nights,
So why not?
to bed down my men, and if they picked up a few trinkets, I had no problem.
See, I called that out, I think on like episode 9 or something, or 8. They were trying to play in our face, showing them loot, like if they was bad, like nah.
Yo, yeah.
I think we thought that the Germans were probably the evilest people in the world. But as the war went along, we found out also that it wasn't the Germans per se. It was the SS and the special troops. They were the ones that could kill their own people, and
the regular. A lot of those soldiers, I've thought about this often. That man and I might have been good friends. We might have had a lot in common. We might have liked to fish, you know. He might have liked to hunt. You never know, you know. Of course, they were doing what they were supposed to do, and I was trying to do what I was supposed to do. But under different circumstances, we might have been good friends.
I was assigned this major, and when he walked in, he presented me this pistol and offered his personal surrender.
Yep.
But it wasn't until later, when he had given me this pistol and I had a chance to look at it carefully, that I realized this pistol had never been fired. There was no blood on it. That's the way all wars should end. With an agreement with no blood on it. And I assure you, this pistol has never, never been fired since I've had it. And it will not be fired.
I like that. They ain't give us that piece.
They did. Well, not the, you know, the whole blood.
Yeah.
And the gun not being fired.
They didn't give us that.
Went to work for a coal company.
Did some bartending and ran a pool hall.
Took up a course in ornamental horticulture. It didn't pay very much, but there were a lot of nice people.
Straight to it.
Got a job working for Nixon Nitration Works. I was making $75 a week.
We know. Nixon hooked you up.
I want to welcome each and every one of you to our banquet tonight to celebrate the ending of a fine reunion. Thank you all for coming.
We relive some of the
Look at that.
Army experiences, but we have great respect and you might say affection for each other.
There's an intimacy develops, and like nothing that I've ever experienced anywhere, not in college, not in with any other group of people.
We're a strange bunch of dudes, as far as I'm concerned, to be this close after all these years.
That's not strange at all.
It's the adversity, bruh.
You
make it through adversity with each other, that's it.
My family didn't know anything about it. And I just didn't tell them. I just, you know, figured it's something that didn't need talking about. It was done, over with.
That's how we do it. We just move forward.
I really admire my daddy. He's a good guy. He's a real strong guy. We travel a lot, and we've been to France and to that cemetery. It's just incredible. There's crosses upon crosses upon crosses, and just lined up perfectly as far as the eye can see. And then there's a cliff, you know, and then the ocean. When I went there, I said, "Dad, my gosh, Dad, you were so lucky." And he looked at me and he said, "Yeah, I'm very lucky," and he started crying.
These guys have been with each other in the absolute base experiences of human existence. They were there with each other.
Is that Buddy's son? That's Joe's son?
I admire that. It held my father even on his tombstone as Sergeant Joe Toy.
Yep. Okay, I saw Toy like, what? It's Buddy's son?
The heroes have crosses over their heads, the ones that are buried in the cemeteries. Those are the true heroes, not us.
The son and the mother and father are the heroes of the Second World War. Not the guys that come home.
Not the guys that come home.
I cherish the memories of a question my grandson asked me the other day when he said, "Grandpa, were you a hero in the war?" Grandpa said no.
But I fought with them.
But I served in a company of heroes.
There we go. We got that last episode.
Joe Toy, there was a big Mick. And we used to have a few beers at night. And I'd sing, "Sure it's a fine time for you to come in." You went to see the big parade, me eye.
He remembered that shit from the 40s, like.
Stay away from the water bridge, darling.
I got a good voice, too.
The song Twilight.
I thought he was about to get up like, yeah, that's all y'all get.
2 beers, you were drunk because you were in great physical condition. You were too peaked, you know, and 2 beers, you were high as Georgia Pine.
I'm not even in great physical peak, and all it takes is 2 beers for me. So I love it.
Oh, man. That was beautiful. Loved it, loved it, loved it.
All right. There you have it. We stand alone. The Men of Easy Company, y'all. In the books. Yeah, right. Round of applause. It's exactly what I expected it to be. You know, just a little bit more insight, a little bit more interview time. We even got some real footage, some real pictures of the real people. I can't lie, man. Some of these people look just like they're actors, man. So
yeah, low key they do.
For real, bro. Like, and I don't even think it was like the exact actors, but I just think that like some of the people just looked like some of the actors in general. Like, so that was kind of interesting the way that kind of worked. But yeah, this was a good one, just to again kind of hear these veterans' feelings and sentiments around, you know, World War II and just being paratroopers, being in the 101, like, and I think one thing that I really enjoy though is like when they get in tune with their feelings about someone else. I always thought that was really powerful about them, because it just kind of goes to show to one of the last lines that they had said was the real heroes were the sons who didn't come back and the mothers and fathers, you know, who had to bury those people. And you can kind of see that I believe they all shared similar sentiments, because every time they spoke about someone else who didn't make it back, or, you know, who made a wrong decision or anything, they always spoke highly of them. You hear their voice crack a little bit, like they you know, they're obviously grateful for their lives, but have an immense amount of respect for the people who did not come back. And then obviously some of those interviews were also in BOB, so we saw pieces and bits of it. Yeah. But again, it just helped connect everything that we saw in BOB as well. So yeah, just great. It's great stuff. How you feeling over there, Bradley?
I'm feeling good, man. This one was a blessing to watch. I loved it. One of the things that kind of stuck with me was the whole when there were the Germans surrendered, and Winters was basically saying that even though, you know, we were enemies, I still had a lot of respect for these men. And I think that's just something that goes a long way, because even though, like you said, we're enemies, he knows what they were going through, because they were going through the same thing. So it's like something that they can, you know, share. They shared the same experience, whether they were on this side of the line or that side of the line. So that's something that I really liked, just like hearing. And then, you know, just the stories of the boys, man. These men have been through so much, and they still carry those memories with them. And I think that's something that we should do as generation goes on, is carry these men's stories and really take it in as like, yo, these men really did help save the world. Like, if it wasn't for them, who knows what type of world we will be living in right now. So it's just like, you know, as much as they're grateful for the brothers and the people that they went in, I'm just as much grateful as for them for doing what they did, putting their lives on the line. And on top of that, you know, like they said, the ones who really didn't make it there are the true heroes. So yeah, man, I love this one. I love the actual footage that they showed. They showed photos from both sides, Germans, like, and because it looked like they had some footage from like Hitler, like actual Hitler. It seemed like. So that was interesting as well.
Yeah, they probably acquired some shit.
Yeah. Well, they raided the Eagle's Nest, so I'm pretty sure they, you know, this dude Hitler was in there making movies, all types of shit. Like, so.
Right. I mean, they had damn, what was it? They had that one cat who took the photo album and shit.
Oh,
so.
yep. Yep.
So we know they definitely probably had acquired some footage for sure. But yeah, I also did like that whole, you know, respecting the soldiers thing, because obviously, you know, this is Attack on Titan is anime, right? It's not real life, but they kind of hit a similar theme in that show where, you know, the whole we're all soldiers, we're just fighting and doing what we're being told to do.
Yeah.
And that's obviously very much a real sentiment. Like, how can you know, obviously you gotta fight this enemy, but when it's all said and done, how can you be mad at this person? They were following orders just like you.
Yep.
They were trusting their leadership just like you were. They were out there in the cold, in the mud, just like you were, etc., etc. So I really like that part. And I also like the little inclusion of the pistol thing, like the extra information, I should say, because yes, we did get that interaction between him and the major, which was actually pretty cool the way they presented it in BOB too, because I remember commenting that I like how the major had told him, what are men like us gonna do when there's no more wars to fight. So I really like that part. But the extra addition to the pistol's never been fired, and this is how you know, things supposed to end, just a surrender with no blood. Like, yeah, like this, you have to watch this and the show. Like, you have to. Like, you can't just leave one and not watch the other.
Yeah.
Like, I'm realizing that you have to.
Because you wouldn't even get that piece either, for the simple fact that in the show he tells him to keep his pistol. So he doesn't
Keep your
even
weapon,
take the
yep.
pistol in the show. So it's nice to get that, and then you get that extra little bit that he says there at the end. So it's just like, yes, damn, that's the type of piece. And yeah,
you gotta,
no blood.
Watch them both.
Yeah, watch them. I like it.
Another thing I really liked was the reunion. Obviously, you know, definitely meeting back up with these people, seeing them once a year or whenever you can make it. But specifically, when they were talking about the reunions, I think it was Shifty might have said it, but he was basically like, he had mentioned that there was a lot of good times, and he said, and that's what we, you know, that's pretty much what we talk about. Yeah, there was a lot of bad times too, but I think that was a really just an important thing to throw out there, because as you watch this, especially as, you know, if you weren't there yourself, all you kind of see is the bad, right? The turmoil and all the messed up shit they went through.
Yeah.
But there was good times too for them, and they remember those good times as well, and they hold on to those. So I just think some, like, you know, obviously let's not always harp on the bad. Like, we should also recognize that they grew some really strong bonds because of those good memories too. And I love that he brought that up, like, and that's, you know, that's what keeps them essentially together. Like, it's not like they getting together each year and talking about, damn, this man's arm blew up and this and that. Like, it's a lot of good stuff. They had some fun too, and they're holding on to that too. So I liked that. I liked that.
Yeah, and I think the show also portrayed that as well. Like, we went through some of these episodes and come out laughing, you know? So it's just like, even in the midst of all this, they can still have a good time, even though, you know, we're in the worst scenario possible. But it's just something that goes to show you the type of men these soldiers were. You know, they went through the good, they went through the bad, but regardless of it all, they continue pushing forward. You know, and I think that's something that we, like I said, these memories, man, we gotta keep them with us. We gotta, you know, let the next generation know that these men really did sacrifice their lives for us to live the lives we live today. So, man, getting there, man. Seeing gonorrhea out there. Oh man, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it was good.
Seeing Lipton, I can't lie, man. He's a good looking older fella. Like, he got all his hair with him, you know what I'm saying? Looking smooth out there, like, shit. I need to look like that when I'm his age.
My boy Lipton drinking that tea, keeping himself healthy. All right, I'm good here, man. like we said, I think it was perfectly presented. I think it was exactly how I expected it to be. I don't even know if this is considered. I guess this is considered a documentary, but
yeah,
it felt like really. I mean, obviously it was shorter. I feel like a lot of documentaries are like 2+ hours, damn near. But this one was nice and tight. It was like 1:20, and I guess since we seen B.O.B., it was a lot easier to kind of just jump into this. Not to say that I dislike documentaries, but I just don't watch too many of them. So I think this one was like really well put together to, you know, keep your attention, especially again if you watch B.O.B. because you want to learn more about these people, you want to hear what they have to say. So it was overall just a perfect ending for the B.O.B. miniseries. You got any final thoughts? Want to drop a score?
Final thoughts is I can't wait to get into the our next journey after this Pacific. Like we said, we are gonna be holding off on that a little bit, but when we do dive into it, you already know we're gonna give y'all our full attention. So that's something that I'm excited for, and yeah, I do believe this is a perfect ending for the series. Like if you've seen B.O.B., this is where you need to end it, because it's just that cherry on top. They give you a lot of little more insights on some of the episodes you've seen, like, you know, the whole Bastogne, them crawling into holes, like little things like that, and obviously just hearing their voices when they speak, you could tell, you know, that it's still with them. Like, you know what I'm saying? They carry it on their sleeves. Like they said, I could remember it like it was yesterday, even though it was like 60 years ago, you know? So it's just like, yeah, man, I respect these men so much. Like it's tough, but yeah, do we even have to get this score? We don't even got to give this score, right? Nah, right?
You don't want to.
Ain't no score to give here.
Yeah.
Ain't no score.
That's how I feel too.
Yeah.
Really no score. It's just a story. How can you score a story?
Yeah,
real story.
Real stories.
You know
exactly.
What I'm saying? This wasn't. There's no cinematography or nothing like that to attach to. These is men sharing what their life was and is.
Yeah, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. My last final thought though, before we ended up, I think, is I really enjoyed that they kind of brought the kids in too. I know they only brought in like 2 kids, and then I don't know who those other 2 people were. I don't know if they were parents, brother, sister, maybe. But I just like that they brought, huh?
You talking about the Powers?
Was that they
with the brother and sister, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think that was their children, his sons and daughters. No,
I don't know. I know the last one was Toy's son.
Yep.
And then the girl was Buddy's daughter. But there was 2 people that looked a little bit older, so I was just like, who are these 2? But the point is, I just like that they brought in different perspectives, because it just went to show, you know, how much the family respects them, how much the children look up to them. The fact that they don't, at least that one father, you know, travels with his daughter and shows her, you know, exactly, you know, the respect that should be given to these veterans. And yeah, I just kind of like that, because it just went to show more into like what else their story has to tell. You know, for some of them, they didn't talk about it much.
Exactly.
Some of them traveled with their kids and showed them things, you know. So it's just like, it just kind of goes to show the contrast between some of these soldiers and how they continue to live their life. So I really like that addition, actually, throwing in the kids and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. But yeah, I agree with Broderick. I don't think there's no score for this. This is just something that we wanted to throw in there. We got the request, and we were just like, you know what, let's do it. We didn't even realize it was here until y'all told us, hey, there's a little extra documentary there that y'all could jump into. So appreciate y'all for recommending it. And again, Pacific will be coming, just not directly after this. We're going to get to that eventually, hopefully before the year ends. But if you're still here rocking with us, we appreciate y'all so much. Y'all already know y'all keep us moving and grooving, baby. You know what to do with the video. Drop your likes, and this one for sure. Drop some comments below. Let us know how y'all feel about the Men of Easy Company.
And most importantly, if you enjoy content like this, consider subscribing to the channel. We also have full-length watch-alongs, but of course. Got to bring your own copy. Patreon link will be in the descriptions down below. FRR out.
Peace.